Hey everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ariel, and this is Ariel Astro Travels. Today we will be talking about the astrocartography for Panama City. Upon immediate arrival, it was familiar in so many ways. Panama is a beautiful city. It is warm. It's also a big city, similar to Mexico City, New York City, like all of the big cities that I love. And it made me realize how much of a big city person I am. Being able to land and then I'm in the car and I'm seeing in the distance the city skyline with all the tall skyscrapers. These are things that I didn't know would make me feel like home, but really did make me feel at home. And the astrocartography here isn't horrible, but it isn't amazing either, right? There's just nothing special about Panama in my astrocartography. But surprisingly, it felt better to me than Guatemala did. Maybe not surprisingly, because Guatemala was rough, but it felt so much better on my body, on my mind, on my spirit, on my soul, and I felt that almost immediately upon landing. So based on astrocartography, what the energy of Panama was going to be for me, this is a place where it is meant to pull your public image into view. Your identity and life direction can be activated here through identity embodiment and how you show up in the world. It can reflect your future self, your future desires, your future needs back to you. You may feel recognized or called into leadership. And it helps you see things that even though you didn't plan for it, you can't help to unsee it once you go into that space. And then it also helps destiny to unfold through conversations, through collaborations, through experiences. The right people say the right thing at the right time, and it helps open up what is meant for you and your destiny. And although it wasn't one of the top 5 cities, that is something that I didn't know I needed until I was there. The one conversation or the one moment or the one experience opening up your mind is exactly what I experienced while I was there. This is not a place that I was meant to stay long term. And I think I stayed there for a month. So I really did experience it with all the joys and none of the hardships of Panama. It's also a place that's really good for career, for chance meetings, for good encounters, for writing downloads, for creativity, for clarity after conversations or experiences. It's a karmic meeting territory, so it's not always easy for love, but it could be formative for love, relationships, connections. And then the shadow side is things can feel inevitable. I can feel pulled into things before I feel fully ready for them. There's little tolerance for self-abandonment or people-pleasing, and so there may be a lot of strong emotions around those patterns if you have them, and I do have that. It's good for short to medium stays, not long-term stays, intentional residency, moments where I need a pivot, or a place that could help me decide my next chapter. And yeah. Yeah, I felt that. I didn't know I needed that, but I felt that. Going into Panama, especially after Guatemala, I was feeling so burnt out from traveling, so burnt out from being a nomad, so burnt out from not having my own place to live, not having a stable home base. There was just so much burnout that I was feeling after leaving Guatemala. Again, it was like being in a perpetual luteal phase or in a long-ass Mercury retrograde. And I entered Panama in a Mercury retrograde, and yet it felt so much better. The place that I was staying in was beautiful. It felt like an elevated apartment. It didn't feel like a hotel or an Airbnb. It really did feel like a space that was mine. It had floor to ceiling windows and lots of natural light and so much space. And it was in a high rise on the 10th floor. There was a pool in the building. There was a beautiful common space that you can work out of. And it really illuminated what I wanted for my next chapter. It really helped illuminate what I needed in that moment and where I wanted to go. it made me sit with all of the exhaustion and realize I only can do this for a year. There are people who do this digital nomad journey for years and years and years. And a lot of the people that do it are a lot younger than me. And maybe they have a lot more energy, or maybe they're more extroverted. But for me, home is so important to me. And through learning that home is where I make it, where I am, where I lay my head at, knowing that I can make a home in any city, Panama City made me realize that I was ready to stop, that I was ready to slow down, that this journey was starting to wear on me, and that I wanted to look at apartments. Like, being in that high-rise apartment made me start to look in other cities at places where I even thought about, renting a high-rise there. They had meetings where you could meet with the staff at the building that I was in to talk about owning a condo in Panama City. I didn't want to, at least not in that moment. Again, that's not a place for long-term happiness for me. So owning a place there probably isn't the best move in that moment. But I considered it. I considered, where could I find this level of comfort for me? Like, it really did feel like I could settle into that apartment fully. And I wanted that experience for myself. I wanted to be in a place where I felt safe, that I knew, that had my decorations and my bed and my pillow and my stuff. There's a lot of digital nomads who live out of a backpack and don't have a lot of stuff, don't have a storage unit, maybe have a couple of stuff in their friend's home, and they're completely happy with that. I realize that that's not me, and that's okay. Like, I'm okay with being someone that needs a little bit more stability, that needs things, that is attached to material things, that likes the comfort of coming home. I saw a video yesterday of someone saying, I'm not the type that wants to travel around the world and be in a different city every weekend. I'm the type of person that needs a home in multiple cities, and that's the way that I will travel, right? I don't want to have a bunch of week-long vacations. I want to experience what it's like to truly live there. And that's what I did with this journey. The places that I spent 3 months in, I really enjoy them a lot more than the places that I just spent a month in, because that's not my type of travel, though I love all types of travel. If it was up to me, my life would be, I have a vacation home in X place and my main home in Y place, and then another home in this place, and all of them feel like mine. All of them feel like home. All of them were decorated and chosen and curated by me, so that when I arrive, I don't have to spend so much time adjusting to the place. It's like when you go to a family member's home or a friend's home that you've been to a bunch of times. There's not a lot of adjustment there because it's like your second home, And so I would love to have travel in a way that I could do that. Like, if I was financially abundant enough to buy that place in Panama, maybe I would, so that it would be one of my many vacation homes. And going to a vacation home feels a lot different than living as a nomad and living in Airbnbs like I have been for the last 10 or so months. So it really made me realize that I was ready to bring this journey to an end. And I'm not even halfway through with the list of places that I want to visit. I've only visited Mexico, Guatemala, 2 places in Mexico, Guatemala, and Panama. And I haven't even gone to all of the Europe destinations. And I'm like, if I want to do that, I want to be able to come back from those European destinations to my own bed, to my own home, especially if I'm going to have to be on a plane for, 10 plus hours. Those destinations are farther away. I want a place that I can come back home to. I don't want to do that and then hop around some more. I want to fully enjoy it. And I realized the last couple months of travel, I wasn't even doing as much touristy stuff, because I just wanted to live a normal life again. I wanted to have my routines where I walk every day and I work out and, I go to work, and I want to be back in a normal life. And the creator of the video that I saw, she said that same thing. Like, I want to live like I'm a local, not like I'm a tourist. There are certain places where you're okay being a tourist for maybe a weekend, maybe a week. And I think for me, the places that I most enjoy doing that are like tropical vacations. Like you go to the beach in Cancun, Cancun's not a place that I want to build a home in or like that I want to stay in long term. You go there for the week, you're in an all-inclusive resort, everything is free, you're eating, but you're not living your normal life. You're on vacation. It's the vacation you. But when I think about travel versus vacationing is about rest. It's about being by the pool with a drink in hand, bathing suit on, and you have no cares or no worries. When I think about traveling, it's about experiencing the places that you're visiting. It's about understanding the culture. It's about opening your mind. Traveling for me is deeper than vacationing. So for a vacation spot, fine. It could be something tropical, something that you're only going to be temporary. But when I think about vacationing, when I think about traveling, when I think about things a little bit deeper, for me, it's important to think about living there and living like a local and not just experiencing everything that the tourists do. So that was my lesson, or one of the many future lessons, future focused conversations that I was having in myself, was realizing that I was ready to end this journey. I gave myself a year, but initially I think I thought I was going to spend a couple years. I really did think that I was going to make it maybe 2-3 years and really like find myself, but I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm ready to apartment search. It feels hard because I'm only going to get to experience 3 out of the 6 destinations that I wanted to on this journey. I had 6 destinations that I told you in some of my earlier videos, and I only got to experience 3 out of 6. And so I have to choose between those 3. And that feels hard. But I also realized that I don't know if I'm a person that wants to live abroad. At least not yet. I loved the experience of living abroad, but I don't want to live abroad full time. I think I want to be someone, like I said, if I could have a vacation home in Panama City or Mexico City or Oaxaca, beautiful. But I don't want to live there full time. I do like the convenience of the United States, as problematic as it can be. I do love where I'm from. I am invested in this place. I do want to build my roots here. I do want to find my community here. And I think that disappointed me a little bit because I wanted to not be that person. I wanted to be the person that was okay living abroad, and maybe that will change. Maybe I just need to not be burnt out by travel to think through this again. But it's about me realizing that I need to do this a little bit differently, and I need to change my strategy. And living out of a suitcase for the last 10 months is no longer feeling good. I will share what I did in Panama in my vlog about Panama later this month. I loved how beautiful it was. It was warm. The weather was gorgeous. You're right on the Panama Canal. You're right by the water. You're getting to experience the people and the food. Panama felt a lot similar to me than to DR and Haiti. It had like a Caribbean flair, whereas Mexico and Guatemala, they have more of like an indigenous American flair. The Panama City felt a lot like Caribbean places that I visited before. I wonder where Brazil kind of meets them in the middle maybe, but for me it felt like I was in DR. The folks spoke Spanish there, but they spoke a version of Spanish that I understood a lot better. The food was very similar, they have plátanos and, the Caribbean flavor, like everything felt very familiar to me. And that was really helpful to help me feel more connected to the place, more connected to the land. And then also getting that sense of like things that felt familiar after being in kind of more indigenous Mexican, Guatemalan culture for the last 6.5, 7 months. So I'll share in my vlog all the places that I went to, all the experiences that I did. I got a massage. I didn't really do any touristy things again because I burnt out on a lot of the touristy things, but I did walk around some of the tourist areas like Casco Viejo. I got a massage. Most of what I did was just enjoy that beautiful apartment. I woke up early and worked out in the apartment. I hung out by the pool. I looked at the beautiful views. I spent a lot of time in rooftop restaurants or rooftop bars, and I just found a way to feel like I was truly living there, and I could see myself living there. Even though that's not long term, that place probably would burn me out, but short term, it felt so good to be there. I'm looking forward to my next city. I will be going back to the States after this to experience some of the astrocartography recommended states that are in the US. And that's also probably going to be where I start to think about settling down and looking at apartments and what the next part of this journey is. I'm already there now, but you'll find out in my next video where I decided to go and what I am experiencing when I'm on the other side of that. So thank you for watching. Please look out for my next video, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.